If you really believe that you're helping people with something, you're selling something that has value, then why not promote the hell out of it? Because it's helping them. Why shouldn't you?
You're listening to Marketed by AHBC Group.
Hello and welcome to Marketed, the podcast that inspires and guides authentic entrepreneurs to build the soulful brand of their dreams and lead a purpose-driven business. I'm Anne-Héloïse, the host of this podcast and the founder and brand builder-in-chief at AHBC Group, a branding agency based in Miami, Florida. In today's episode, I wanted to cover basically how to be confident with posting on social media. That's a very heavy topic. I feel like basically I think tons of clients, people that I've actually met and that are my clients or that I just meet, do not post on social media, or they post but they are not super successful because they are not like creating a personal connection with the audience. And it's not because of a lack of time or inspiration, but just because they feel uncomfortable showing their face. I've heard so many times like, yeah, I don't want it to be me, or I don't want to show my face on social media, like I'm not a model or whatever. And so I kind of want to go over like everything and basically convince you on why you should. So here we go. And yeah, I want us to enter this year with confidence and like really, sometimes I feel like you'll put a lot more effort and time than necessary working on posts that are like super refined, like with professional photography and like a cool design and like a whole like written thing that took you so long to put together, and that it will be less effective than something like you just took out your phone and like recorded like a quick story or like took a selfie. And that's just how social media is, that you have to build that personal connection. And especially if you're a smaller brand with like either a small team or it's just you on your team, like you want to build that and like take advantage of that. That's one of your greatest strengths. And I don't really believe in like the fake it till you make it. Sometimes you want to appear bigger than you are. And that's a completely different topic, I think, for another episode. But just be okay being yourself. And we're going to have a list of things I want to cover about this, on why you should be confident and how to be confident with showing yourself on social media. And you should really listen to it, even if you're like, no, I don't want to, because we're going to go over why you really should and how you can. Number one, showing your face on social media does not mean that you're an influencer. So I feel like a lot of people have that cliche of like the superficial influencer. If I post myself on social media, am I like becoming like an Instagram model or something? No, you're not. You're just basically you're doing what you're doing. Let's say you're a coach and like you coach client or you meet with clients for your business or customers. You're basically going to be doing the same thing with your camera and just getting in front of more people. And if you're not doing it, you're passing on business opportunities basically. So that would be a shame. But yeah, that doesn't make you an influencer or someone that looks like they want to be an influencer. You're not going to be contacted by brands and get brand deals. It's just say what you would say in a meeting. It's uncomfortable at first, just like I'm doing it right now. It's not like the most natural thing. Do it as you would do, like imagine this is a client and you just record yourself. You can delete the video. Don't overthink it. And I'm so happy that now I get to outsource that and I have amazing girls that help me work on that. So I just record myself and I'm like, deal with it, and I don't have to hear myself, because who likes to hear the sound of their voice and look at themselves talk? No one. Realistically, it doesn't mean that you love that. So if you can hire someone to take care of the editing for you so you don't have to put yourself through that torture. But also if you do, that's fine. I hated hearing myself in the first episodes that I was editing. Really hated it. But also I feel like it made me better. You kind of catch on, oh, I sound like that, or oh, I keep saying that, like how embarrassing. It's very cringy, but also like that's how you will evolve and get better. And I was sounding like just the same talking to people and not like even realizing it. So you win. Either way, you win. So that was the first point. Doesn't mean you're an influencer if you show your face on social media. Second one is people actually care about what you have to say and offer. I think we're like, oh, people don't care, or like they know, and some stuff it seems so logical to you because like you're doing it every day, or that's why you're selling. You feel like you will be repeating yourself a lot, or like all those things. If they're following you, they care. If they don't care, they'll just unfollow you or like mute you. Some people will care, and basically I feel like, yeah, it would be a waste not to do it if that's the thing that is going to help you get successful, and it's really not that big of an investment. If you think about it, in your business, you've probably made way bigger investments, and we're not doing it because it makes us a bit uncomfortable, but you're investing, I don't know, like a lot more money in a website or this or that, and just you don't want to because you feel uncomfortable. When you started, there's a bunch of stuff in business that they'll feel uncomfortable, and that's just how you grow. Get over it. Treat it like any other thing. It's way harder, and I know because it's you, that's you have to do it, and like, but it's not a thing of time. It's you have the time, you have the ideas, just do it basically. I think my third point, and one of the main things also, is to get over the fear of judgments, because that's one of the main things that I think encompasses everything. So basically, if you're convinced that what you have to offer will help people and you are not doing your best, so in that case, showing your face on social media, you're not doing your best to share it with the world, you're taking away from people. That's basically, I think I heard that in like a sales training. I'm going through the same thing with like sales and like all that stuff. Like it's just different categories, but I think it comes down to the same. I felt like for so long sales felt like super cringy, you know, like, oh, it doesn't feel humble, or like I'm selling myself. It feels very uncomfortable if that's not your job basically. But do you really believe? If you don't, then that's a whole other issue and you should question a lot of other things. But if you really believe that you're helping people with something, you're selling something that has value, then why not promote the hell out of it? Because it's helping them. Why shouldn't you? In the end, I think it's kind of like the reverse thing, that basically if you're not doing it and you know it will serve the world and bring value, you're letting your ego win over people's interests. And I feel like we have it completely reversed, where we feel like, oh, she's showing off on social media, or he's doing this and that and always being in stories, whatever. So that's a thing of like fearing judgment, first of all. And basically, it's still your ego being like, oh, I don't want to appear like super narcissistic or something, or superficial, or whatever it may be for you, and like figure that out. So I won't post myself or about myself. So that's still an ego thing. But it's like trying to appear a certain way that is more humble. Why should you be humble? You're doing great stuff. Just tell people about that. And then you would think that no posting would make you not ego-driven and humble and everything. But that is your thought process, and that is actually the other way around. So yeah, basically get to the root, be super honest with yourself and why you're refraining from posting. Then fourth tip is get bomb pictures that are maybe candid and like not post, and like get stuff that makes you okay with posting them on social media, that you would feel like, I feel good on that picture, like let me post that. And then you can connect, and maybe that's easier, like that's an easiest first step than video and all that other stuff. But yeah, if it helps you, like definitely get good pictures. Anyways, like you'll need good pictures for your website, for a bunch of other stuff. Just get the good pictures, never hurts. Then tip is to ask people to ask you questions. So you want to basically, sometimes it's just like you cannot figure out like what exactly will I be saying or talking thinking about writing my captions about whatever. And once you get into it, you'll have so many ideas, you cannot stop. But if you're kind of creatively blocked and like you're not sure if that will bring value or not, and sometimes it will be the easiest things you never thought there would be a question, because for you it makes so much sense, but that's probably because that's the most value that you have, that it's so integrated with you that you don't even think that that's a question anymore. But get people to ask you questions or answer like those questions or the questions that you get often, I don't know, in consultations about your product. Basically, you do an FAQ and it can be like a video in a caption. You answer one question that you get all of the time. And that's basically what you're doing, is also either bringing value with some specific question, or you're anticipating objections that you usually would have like on a sales call or with your customer service. So you're also gaining time and basically saving in other areas of your business. And then number 6 and last tip is, I literally wrote that down that way, just do it and get over yourself. Yeah, basically like people are focused on themselves anyways. Just the pictures don't need to look perfect. Do you do filter, no filter? Like who cares? Just pick one, do it, and you'll see. If you really don't enjoy it and like it, like delete the picture. And sometimes it's frustrating. I know even for myself, honestly, I don't want to toot our own horn or whatever the saying goes, but we do great designs and I will post them. We worked on them, on those things for hours. And then we post either the podcast episodes or a photo with like a person from the team like me, or now we're posting also with the girls, which is super cool. But we post those photos and the engagement is so much better. I'm like, but I spent hours working on these designs and they're like, people are, oh yeah, like sometimes they're cute, like we get a few likes, and then a photo with us and it's like so much more engagement, because people care about people. You do business with people and not with businesses. If you want to hire someone to help with anything in your brand, in your business, you hire the person still, not a business. The business doesn't mean anything. So you actually connect with people and like energies, and not just LLC, like who cares? And yeah, people don't really care that much. Honestly, if they don't like it, they'll just scroll. And if one day you have a troll or a hater, you've made it. So congratulate yourself, like you've made it and you're famous. You should be proud of you. And if you've had a hater, comment on Instagram on the post about this podcast episode, because I will go on that post and, I don't know, hate on the hater. Like, no, we wouldn't do that. But I will congratulate you because you've probably have a good amount of followers and someone cared enough to write something. At least it triggered something, and that's interest, and that's also what you want. So yeah, and I think people don't care that much. Like they will get the value they need to get, and like hopefully like the positive stuff about what you're saying, think through it for themselves, know more about your product, your offer. And if they don't like it or you or whatever, and I'm sure they don't even care that much, worst thing is like they don't care, they will just scroll past your post and nothing happens and you're fine and you're safe and you're doing great and your business is thriving. And that's all I want for you in 2023. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for listening to Market It. I'm your host, Anne, and I hope that this episode brought you value. If you enjoyed this episode, it would mean a lot if you could take a few minutes to rate and review the podcast. Follow along on Instagram at AHBC Group so we can stay in touch, and so you can let us know if there's a specific topic that you'd like us to cover in future episodes. Talk soon.